Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap with your hosts, Chris and Deepam here. And we are here to talk Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 5, Rewind, with help from Lance Hunter. Nothing will stop Fitz from finding his lost team on his secret journey, as his secret journey is revealed. Before we get into this, next week is our mailbag episode. So we're going to be, so get your emails in. I know, the holidays here and Christmas is here, but if you want to email us and have us, talk about something, like, a lot of things have happened. Actually, it's kind of weird. I think since November, this has been a crazy entertainment month. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. I mean, obviously you have Last Jedi, but man, we've got a lot of comic book stuff that's happened. We got the deal of the century is being finalized and worked on, the Marvel and Fox deal. So. Yeah, there's a lot going on, so email us at mailbag@mtrnetwork.net. We'll have a lot to talk about that day. We're also going to be doing a character corner on the Summers Brothers finally. That'll probably be released in January of 2000. Probably be our first character corner released in 2018. So, send us an email on that stuff, and we'll have plenty to talk about, and it'll be great. And we got a lot of ranting to do about comic books, like some good stuff and some bad stuff. I thought people were joking, and last either Thursday or Friday morning, I read issue 3 of Falcon, and I wanted to throw my tablet. It was
looks like nothing to me.
Was way worse than I thought. Like I had been kind of getting a little bit annoyed by the dialogue, and it just doubled down. I took a nap yesterday. Huh?
A little bit annoyed.
Just a little bit annoyed. Just I'm like, oh, well, because it's one of the things I was trying to have. Like I was trying to have faith. And I know you say I shouldn't have faith.
And that's the thing is, you're still letting yourself grade black creators on a curve, and I'm not.
No, you're right. I was trying to maybe it'll get better. Oh no. You know the final straw. You know what the final straw for me was though? Before the even after reading the issue, like I was mad and I was already going to unsubscribe. The final straw for me that just sent me over the edge yesterday. Somebody actually went and confronted the author on Twitter about it. It's like, hey, it was nice about it. It was like, hey, listen, some readers are having some concerns about the dialogue and the hip hop references and things like that. What did they say? And he kind of like blew it off like it was a joke. And I'm like, oh no, nigga, this is not a joke.
What do you mean like it was a joke?
Like, this is not a joke. This is...
What was his reaction?
His reaction was like, well, there's not that many in issue 4 or 5, but then in 6 there's some. And I'm like, dude, no. No
one talks like this.
No, right. And then I didn't know, but Rodney Barnes wrote, we talked about this on the Nerd Off. Rodney Barnes works, and this guy who writes Falcon, he wrote for the Boondocks, and I'm like, everything makes sense now. And I don't hate the Boondocks.
Okay, never mind.
I don't hate the Boondocks, but I'm like, oh, no, dude, you can't. You're trying to write for the cartoon.
Also, when he's writing for the Boondocks, he's in a room.
Right.
So his ideas are getting tampered down and cost other people's ideas.
Right. I'm like, that's not how, that's not, because here's the thing, like, even with Boondocks, that's not how people talk in normal life anyway, but we are okay with it because it's animated and we're just like, we're laughing at the ridiculousness of it. Like, that's
supposed to be an exaggerated version.
Right. You're now writing a comic book. Where I'll say this for the mailbag, but I was very, very pissed when I found out both of those things yesterday, and I was like,
if he wasn't black, we'd call the writing racist.
Yes, we would. We definitely would. There would definitely be some call-outs on this stuff, and
handling bullshit. Yeah. Let's talk about this episode. Actually, let's not talk about this episode. I'm done doing the show until we get our writer credits. Apparently, wrote the motherfucker. Now we got to talk about it too.
So the only disappointment, and it's not even a real disappointment, is I did really want my Fitz LMD, but I feel like this was even worse. Like I was like, oh no, they're gonna put him in cryo, and that's even, this motherfucker will do anything for Gemma. Like
he jumped through a hole in the world and then froze himself for 75 years.
Right? I'm like, wait, how long ago? 70? What? Like listen. If your love is not as strong as Fitz has for Gemma, you're kind of doing it wrong. I'm just saying. Like, I don't, that's just, that's some love, man, for you. That is some love. Like, this man loves that woman. And you know what? Beyond just the woman, he loves his friends. Like, yes, he definitely was doing this for Gemma, hands down. But you never got the feeling it was just for her. Like, he cares about his friends. He cares about his team. And there are several moments throughout this episode, and we've talked about this before. Yo, Double O Fitz came back.
Double O Fitz is the realist.
Right. When he
The
told
flashes we get of Fitz, I'm like, oh no, don't fuck with Fitz.
when he told Hunter to go start the Zephyr while he held off the the soldiers, and
Shouldn't you handle the tentacle while I handle the never mind? All right, damn.
right, like this motherfucker. Like you forget, you're like, oh yeah, you know what? It has been a few seasons, and Fitz ain't really been that soft. You can't do nothing Fitz for like 4 seasons now. Yeah, he's kind of a badass. We've kind of forgot about that. Like it's one of those things that you. I love this show because of how it's shown how far the characters have grown. Like the characters in season 5, hell, each season they're almost unrecognizable from their season before. Like, and if you really start comparing what Fitz was, like seriously, I'm gonna have to at some point go back and watch season 1.
It's jarring.
Right.
I'll tell you what though, I liked how even though he was just stalling for time while he was in prison, I love how he was like, I had multiple major traumatic brain events.
Right.
So maybe I did it and forgot. It's
Right.
like, I was like, oh shit, maybe you did.
I love how they did that. Like from him wanting the TV to watch soccer because it ties into not just him being British, but also just his the thing with Hunter. And then they bring Hunter in, and you see that he was sending messages through the angry letters to the editor he was writing. And I love because when they first meet each other, they start arguing over soccer for a good 30 seconds. Like it's them screaming back and forth about their teams. And it's like, no. How dare you say that about my team? No. Well, at least our team knows how to fucking do this stuff. You just
They got a real live fan argument.
Like I feel like that was a real argument. Like I feel like they asked an argument that
in sports Twitter for ages.
Right? I feel like
oh shit, it's spicy.
I feel like Nick and Ian have had that conversation in real life before. Like
I feel like that was outlived. I feel like
right. I don't feel like that was acting. I think that was
not Fitz and Hunter. That was
right.
Nick and Ian.
Yeah, I think that was Nick and Ian right there. And but oh man, that shit was just so fucking great though. And but it also again, what I love about this episode is it ties back to because Nick and Hunter and Bobby were both on I think season 3 as well, right? And so a lot of this episode ties back into season 3, which is again another reason why I love this show so much is how they go back and tie into their previous seasons. They don't run from that stuff. Like that stuff happened and matters and comes back. So you have
it all has repercussions.
And it all has repercussions. Like when you see what do they call her, the seer?
The seer, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I know that woman. I know who is that woman? And I saw the kid, and I saw the little Robin. I'm like, son of a bitch, that's the daughter of the Inhuman that can see the future. Oh my God! Like, are we really doing this right now? Like, I just sat there watching it for a good 5 minutes. Like,
you're just impressed. You're just at a certain point. I'm not even like enjoying the show. I'm just flat out impressed.
Here's the thing. We talk about all the time about how we try to predict some things and we can see how things are going. But then the reason why I don't care if we can predict some things is because there are moments like this where no one saw this coming. Like no one would have gone, oh no, it would have been remember the daughter of the Inhuman that can see the future. She's gonna play a big role in how the team got sent, not just the team got sent to the future, but then why Fitz got left back and how he gets sent to the future later. Like, what? How is... No, that makes sense. What makes it even more impressive, though, to me, if you remember that episode from, again, season 3. In that episode, that's the episode where Fitz gives his great speech on how you can't change the future. And what is he here doing now? Going to the future to try to save his... Like, it is... We don't deserve this show, though, guys. We just...
No.
Yeah. It just... I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Like, this is just... This was just... I'm watching this, and I'm seeing how they're doing this, and I'm like, I need answers. Like, when you get the information on who Enoch is...
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, you're basically a watcher. I've seen somebody say they introduced Watcher. Remember, the Watcher were technically introduced in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4. I mean, Volume 2.
Well, it depends on what you think Stan Lee is. Is he an agent or is he just
No. They actually had the Watchers.
Oh no, I saw them. Yeah, in Guardians.
Yeah. So I mean, they literally gave. I mean, and you could sit there and you could say that as maybe Stan Lee is one too. Like you can go that way, but like they literally introduced like the real
big
Watcher.
head, ball, dress wearing Watcher.
They actually literally introduced them there. So, yeah, Enoch is literally just what, like, I think he called himself like an archaeologist or an anthropologist or something like that. It comes, I just come here and study. Came here like 30,000 years ago to study humans, and I've just been here, and yeah, and I realized that there's just like a extinction level event that's going to happen. So we're trying to prevent that, and I'm just like, okay, so
well, shit.
Right, you kind of now establish that there's way more alien races that are actually doing this stuff. Like like they've done a way of opening up this entire world here with this show right now, and it's actually pretty interesting. So, I want to know who the hell was General Hale, and who the hell is she working for?
I think she's an LMD.
Oh, you actually think she's an LMD?
You got to remember that the last loose end is the Russian and those LMDs that were running around. They framed Daisy, and then our people got took. And it's been 6 months. They got time to infiltrate shit. They've done a very good job of kind of lampshading the timeline because they're like, oh, he's in jail for 6 months. They're on the run for who knows how long, and now he's in the future for 4 years. Meanwhile, the current timeline is they've been gone for approximately, I'd give it easy a year now. But also, this reminds you in that episode, what did Fitz tell you? The future cannot be changed.
Yes.
The future is the future.
Yes. Yes.
Here we go.
The one thing about, like, so Hale could be
multiverse, by the way.
Huh?
That.
You said what now?
Hello, multiverse.
You're going to stick with the multiverse?
Either a multiverse or we're going to tie in Infinity War a lot stronger than people think.
Right. Right.
There's a gym that relates directly to time.
Yeah, there definitely is. So,
and we've seen him change time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I rewatched Doctor Strange. I'm sick right as we record. I watched Doctor Strange yesterday after work. I love that movie even more just because the last act is just an inversion of every superhero movie we've ever seen. They literally reverse the destruction of the city.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So the thing about General Hale being an LMD, though, like she sent those other two agents early. Like they were there like once the agents disappeared. So she would have had to already be. I guess she was their superior.
Or no, they were coming to arrest them anyway.
Oh, true.
Shield's fucked up.
True. Oh yeah.
Like she could have been replaced at any point, and I bet we see those two agents again as LMDs.
That would be a good point because she did like seriously. Like I was not. They were like, so you're gonna fire? So I'm like, yeah, I don't think she's gonna fire. And then she pulled the gun out and shot them both in the head. I'm like, definitely did not fire you.
Well,
I guess I technically
that sentence was, it wasn't that you failed. It was that I can't trust you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're replaced by someone I can trust.
Yeah. True.
What about versions of you?
Oh my God! If they bring in more LMDs, like why not? Right?
And I mean, honestly, like that's a major loose end of like a major antagonist.
Yeah, true.
You remember like when this guy went up against Coulson, he had all this backstory and all these reasons for hating Coulson, and Coulson didn't give a shit.
Right.
He had Quake dropped a building on his ass.
Right. You're right.
Like, this is someone who actually hates our agents.
Right. So you could definitely bring that. And again, like I said, one.
Explain why he's hunting you.
Well, and the other thing too is like even without the Russian, it's like just once. I feel like LMDs are one of those things that once you make them, they don't go away. Like that's always a thing that can happen. You don't have no idea.
It's even the little girl going to Terragenesis had to have been through one of the fish bills,
right?
Or something else in the environment. But like she didn't go through a temple in a statue,
right? No, she definitely did. Yeah. So, oh man, it's just I love how they handle all of that and did all that. It's just wonderful. The way I also love the idea because you start this when they're sitting at the diner. Like Fitz is still dealing with the fact that he's the cause of all this, and you're still seeing it from him. You know, when he was sitting at the diner table, he wasn't eating. You know, he kind of feel that when when the agent showed up, when the lights went out and they all their hands up, he was like, "It's my fault," like, and he's trying to when they when General Hale came in and was like, "Hey, Daisy shot Talbot." He's like, "No, it's an LMD created by Ada. It's all me. Like the other agents didn't do Coulson, Daisy, they didn't do this. This is all me. I created this. I did this. It's my fault." Even down to like, I don't think even he could have been stalling. I don't even know if he was really stalling when he went and said that it was me. I had schizophrenia and I did this. Like, he might have, maybe it was still stalling, but I feel like it's probably something he did think too. Because you got to think about it. Fitz isn't going through some stuff where he kind of can't really trust himself. Like he pulls a gun on Enoch, and even Nick
pulled a gun on Enoch. He took Lance's gun,
right,
and forced that gun upon Enoch.
Right.
He not putting a gun. He made in no certain terms that your future ends today.
Right.
I was like, oh, sorry.
Right. And like Nick was like, "Yo, I kind of like this new Fitz." I'm like, yeah, Nick, you haven't seen all of new Fitz. You might want to tamp that down a little bit." Like, new Fitz is he's a little bit more bold, but he's definitely he has a shorter temper than most, and I'm not sure you really want to fuck with new Fitz like that. So
you don't want these problems.
You really don't want these problems. So I really like how they did that, and I also love the fact that one, they left the door open for Bobby coming back later in the season, which I like that, right? Because Nick is like, "Yeah, I'll call Bobby, and Bobby and me will keep Robin and her mom safe." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So you couldn't get Bobby right now because obviously she's shooting Orville, but you leave the door open to basically say that Bobby's not dead and that she's just out there doing some other shit just like Nick was, and you can always bring her back at any time. So like that moment, and that would be great if they could bring Bobby back for like an episode or two. So I like that, but also like the that Lance was talking to Fitz about like him and Gemma. It's like everybody knew you guys were put together, and you guys are the standard, and you guys belong together. Like you and how Fitz is like, I don't think I deserve her. That maybe the universe is telling us that we shouldn't be together because I'm bad for her, and again, it's this thing that they've been doing this season where each character is still having a little bit of doubt from being in the frame.
They fucked him up.
Yeah, and I like that.
I like how prescient Lance was about just pointing out that you've really changed and you got this thing in you now. And I love how even in the space of the episode, I think the episode's called Rewind, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Rewind.
I love how it shows him coming to grips with it, not just as, hey, this is something that we do. It's now, hey, this is something that's not a part of me. It's something a part of me I can use. Mm-hmm. It's part of me I can make beneficial, but it is a part of me. It's less running from who you are or what you've discovered about yourself and more accepting it.
Yeah, I mean, the episode ends with Enoch waking up in the future going, "Hey, listen, we got to get you prepared for dealing with the worst of the worst of the galaxy," and he's like, "I hope it's in you," and it's like, "Yeah, it's in me, I can do this, because that's who he is now, that's part of him, he's like," and again, it's one of those things that I love the history of this show. Like, yeah, sure, you can watch the last 2 seasons and be like, "Oh yeah, this is where the best of the shows are, and that's where you got to pick it up right there." You can do that, but if you do that and never go and watch season 1 and 2, you are missing so much of the context of Fitz. Like, you just are. I mean, this is a guy who, I remember that episode. I think it was called like Fitz. It was the episode where him and Ward went on the field, and I think it's also the episode that like Gemma made them sandwiches or something like that. Made him a sandwich, and I remember the episode because it's just Fitz was just so naive, and he wasn't supposed to be he's not a field agent. And then you look at what happened later on that season where Ward drops them into the ocean, and he gives up his oxygen so that Simmons can live. And in the next season, he's literally got some brain damage and he can't speak. He's literally got his brain doesn't work correctly, and that's when we bring him Mac, and we have the Mac and Fitz connection because Mac is basically his voice and helping him. Like, Fitz has been through so goddamn much. And then you get this last season with him going to the framework and him being the head of Hydra, one of the heads of Hydra, and doing all this stuff. And you see the evil, and you see what his father was, and all this other stuff. And you're just like, damn, yo, like Fitz has been through it. And so when you finally get this Fitz now and Rewind, you're like, yeah, I don't know if the future is ready for Fitz.
Yeah, right?
I don't know if we keep trying to look at Fitz as just like the tech guy, just the guy on the side, but like he pulled them. Like I can't bring him. He pulled them two guns out, spun around, and started icing the.
The dual wield. I was like,
the dual wield, like
Mr. Fitz.
Just man, and it's just I love how they did it. I love the fact that the reason why they call it the lighthouse in the future is actually a fucking lighthouse.
I mean, like, we can keep celebrating this episode, but on the real, I do need my check. Like, this is some bullshit. Like, as we're talking about, that's a great little touch. Where's my check?
It's actually a fucking lighthouse, and it's a bunker under the lighthouse. And Fitz basically leaves. Like, I love him leaving all of the stuff there. I can't remember. So I know he left the shotgun axe. Did he leave? What else did he leave?
It was just like it was a cache of weapons.
Okay, so
I think the only one that's really associated with one of our team members is the shotgun axe. So that's why they showed it to us.
Okay,
I did link that it was really interesting. Like, not to jump around too much, but when he took acceptance for Mace's death.
Yeah,
that's on me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's like I think that's one of the things that you're seeing from Fitz with everything him dealing in the framework is he's accepted that everything is his fault. Mm-hmm. And it's not, but like, he's accepting that as like, no, this is me. It's all me. I helped create Ada. If I had not done this, Radcliffe wouldn't have been able to do this. And the framework and everything like that wouldn't have come back onto me, and, and the thing about it, so it's fucked up, man. I feel it's weird. It's that weird thing where you feel the pain of Fitz, but at the same time, I kind of like what the pain has gotten us with.
Oh yeah,
Fitz.
I'm glad we're here, but the way we got here was painful.
Right.
I will say this: finding out they're only 75 years in the future is terrifying.
Yeah,
and there's a part of me that maybe 4 or 5 years ago would have said, "Nah, shit couldn't change that much in 75 years." But I'm watching and without getting too hyper into what's going on in the world, I'm watching the country become eroded in the course of a year, and I'm like, oh shit!
This could happen.
75 is a long ass time.
Right. So one thing we did find out also is the reason why Enoch and them couldn't just send Fitz through is like the obelisk can only be opened from the other side. So it's like, well, who opened the other side? They knew it was
your boy.
Huh?
It was your boy.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, how did he did it in the first 20 minutes?
Well, how did he do it though?
Well, he's got that's what I'm saying. Like the communication on Earth, there's a team.
Gotcha. That's right. I forgot.
Because he was like, oh, there's people who are older who keep the faith, and there was and their buddy whose name I keep forgetting was like the last person,
Nigel,
last person they knew of who still believed.
Virgil, I think is this.
Virgil, yes.
You know what? Here's the thing. So much happened in this episode. I completely forgot that we found out last episode there's a team of people on the surface of the planet. Still, I completely forgot about that. I completely forgot. Like that's.
I bet they're going to be related. They're going to be like Hunter told us he'd be coming. Like I guarantee they're going to play off the Bobby Hunter thing too.
Oh yeah. They'll have that shit. Robin might be around. Mm-hmm. Like there's so much right here that gets put into this episode that
Bro, Robin could be Deke's mother.
Yes.
Or Deke's grandma.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking. It's like I'm
trying to tighten a little knot here, and it feels pretty good. I loved just a couple moments. I loved the chopper falling. The chopper falling was hilarious.
Rusty is not. Yeah, I mean he created a distraction.
My money can buy.
Right. I mean he created a distraction, so there is that.
And I did like the most serious part of the episode because once you do this, there's no turning back. Release the ferrets. Very well played, very well delivered. I hate ferrets, so for me it was very personal touch for me.
Oh, what do you hate? Why do you hate ferrets, man?
This is not that podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to bring up anything. I'm just.
This is that podcast.
It's a very traumatic experience there. I'm so sorry.
I'm not traumatic. I just say they're terrible.
I mean,
they're long rats. They're long rats.
They really are long rats, though. They really are. They're rodents. I mean, we're going to be honest here.
They're rodents. No, they're not. I was corrected. There's something else.
I'm sorry.
I apologize to ferret enthusiaks. If you listen to this podcast, stop. How about that? I don't apologize for shit. Fuck you, parents.
Yeah, man. I really like. Here's the thing. You know what's crazy about this? 5 episodes.
Yeah, what the yo? And by the way, I lied. The Ferris line isn't my favorite line. My favorite line is, and by the way, I will do this if I'm ever cryogenically frozen. I love you. I know.
Right.
This is a G.
Yes.
All of a sudden, yeah, it's hello, and they didn't tell us till the very end. Like, I know.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
It's great. Man, you know what? This is the most we've ever cared about Hunter too, man. Like Hunter.
But the thing is, they had the connection. Hunter and Fitz always had a connection.
Mm-hmm. They did.
And they really paid it off here.
They really did. So, that was great. I love when Fitz was like, "Yo, you didn't get my letter. I've been writing these letters." Like, "Yo, dude, I don't get that issue in like Bolivia or wherever it was."
I'm in Bangladesh,
right, man? What the hell, man?
Hooligans Weekly would get to me, you asshole.
And then they kept arguing about the sport, and then finally it was just like, "Man, I miss you, man." It just
there'll be more time for hugs later.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just so good. Hey, here's the crazy thing, because I remember when I did the interview with Chloe and Clark. I was talking about some of their favorite upcoming episodes, and Chloe said that her favorite action scene she has shot so far that season was the one that Clark Gregg directed, the episode he directed. That's the next episode. So we come back from break with the Clark Gregg directed episode. So I'm really excited.
Which, by the way, has Fitz in the room.
Yes.
Like we're gonna walk in with Fitz walking in that room.
Yes. So
he's the destroyer of worlds or whatever.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what goes on with what happens next. And again, only 5 episodes in so far.
It's crazy.
That is just like there's
5 episodes in 4 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. Because 5 in 4 weeks. And no other show goes this long with this many episodes. Because it's going to be another 22 episode season. But yet move this fast and cram. So I feel like every season there's at least 2 seasons worth of material they do in those.
So the end of the season, spoilers, is going to come down to them preventing the world getting destroyed.
Is it going to be the end of the season or is it going to be the end of the first arc?
Oh no, the end of the first arc is them getting back. And the second arc is going to be them discovering what the new world they're in.
You're right.
The third one's going to be them stopping it.
True. There you go. Okay.
And they're going to tie the third one into Infinity War.
True. Yes.
Just from a strict time perspective, because they gave them the full 22, and because they started it late, which may have been the true legacy of Inhumans, was to allow Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to start it.
True. Yeah, I'm very excited. This is just a great show, man. Like if you're in, again, I'm not gonna say, hey, if you're not watching Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., you fucking know you should. So yeah, you should. It's just amazing. So we are on the break, I guess, next week. So nothing comes out next week. We will have our mailbag episode and our character corner will record, but there's no shows to watch, which I'm actually happy for because I need the break. And then we'll be back in 2 weeks when this show comes back. And I don't even know when Flash and them come back. I think that's like a week or 2 after that. I think Flash and them don't come out until like the week of the 15th or something like that. So, but Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not taking. They're not taking any prisoners. They're going to come right back after the holiday. So, well, at least not next week, but the week after next. So, 2 weeks we'll be right back in it with Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. We make sure you subscribe to us on Super Tuesday Recap on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Google. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. We just crossed 800 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm really happy about. Really waiting to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're putting up more stuff on YouTube that's exclusive only to YouTube. I did a video on my favorite Darth Vader moments from the Darth Vader comic. I also did a review for the Jumanji movie, which is actually surprisingly pretty entertaining. And that's exclusively on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to YouTube, youtube.com/MTR Network. And we have some other stuff coming out. I'm going to hopefully get my Darkest Hour review up there as well. But yeah, folks, do that. And like I said, make sure you email us at the mailbag, mailbag at mtrnetwork.net. And we'll be back. Enjoy your holiday, folks, and we will be back soon. Thank you guys very much. Peace.